This is the Average to Savage podcast with Paul Guarino. Everyone and anyone, athletes, celebs, and much more.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Average Savage podcast. Today's special guest is Bubba Jenkins. Bubba, how's it going?
What's up? What's up? Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. I know I've been following your career for a long time back from the ASU days. And we finally actually got to meet a couple months ago, actually. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to get you on. And yeah, you got a big fight coming up August 4th. So I guess what's training been like?
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me again, and it was good to meet you. And training has been going as planned. It was smooth. We got right back into camp right after the last victory, and we didn't rest on our laurels. We pushed hard in camp. I think I'm in, physically some of the best shape that I've been in, and my body looks great. The mind is right. The weight is really good. We're a week out from weigh-ins, and we're just staying locked in the whole time. No guessing, no negativity. It's just a straight focus, and healing up any little knick-knack injuries, and staying in the right place, staying in the right mindset.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so this is your third season of PFL. For those that don't know how it works, you guys, it's just like a playoff system, and you guys fight 3 or 4 times a year, however long you make it. And I think you made it to the finals back-to-back years, right?
Absolutely. This will be back-to-back years. I actually haven't made it to the finals back-to-back years. This will be third year in the playoffs straight. So every year that I've signed up, I've made it to the playoffs. So that's a good feat. And then every year that I've fought, I've always advanced. So the trajectory proves correct, as it has always done so far. We are headed for a 2-time finalist and this year's championship.
Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, what is that like? Because a lot of MMA fighters and boxers, you like never know your next match, but like for example with the PFL, with the playoffs, if you win, you kind of know when your next fight. So is that like helpful for you?
Absolutely. Me being an NCAA national champion and multiple time finalist, beating one guy and then advancing to the next guy is something I'm used to. It is the way that you should run sports. You shouldn't be able to talk your way into a championship. You shouldn't just be able to be popular or move the needle with the nation, and get a championship belt for it, or the opportunity for a championship belt. So I like the fact that we do a tournament style. Every year is a new champion. Availability is one of the best abilities, and you got to be resilient, you got to be focused, you got to be smart, and you got to be locked in.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's just dope in general, just because like even like for fans and supporters and things like that, like they just know when you're gonna fight again. It's gonna be on ESPN Plus.
Yep.
And
Yep.
yeah,
The non-guessing is really good. The off
yeah,
season, the on season, the having the fights. The other thing is though that they're back to back 8 weeks, so it's a little bit quick, but not a little bit quick. It's a lot bit quick because you're going into the next camp with injuries. But you do have an off season. You can get prepared for different things. You can find times where you can recover.
your opponent beat the last year's champion. So I was saying, like, how do you go about like researching your opponent? Do you watch a lot of film on them, or you just train hard, or you do a little bit of both?
Definitely got to do both. Definitely can't forget to train hard, and you definitely want to watch what he did. I didn't watch any old film. I've seen him fight twice this year. I saw him fight the night I. Every time we have fought this year, we have fought on the same card. So I have stood behind him, next to him, around him. I know his personality a little bit. With promoting the fight, I've seen him a couple of different times. So, it's a place where know your opponent and know yourself. And one thing I do is know myself, and I'm getting to know him day by day. I watched some film on his last fight and what he did right, and the things that he does right. But for the most part, it's gonna go my way.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then how did you get the nickname Bad Man?
Um, it was like a Muhammad Ali kind of. Um, I have an old school coach in Jacob Harmon. He kind of like, I was my nickname was I'm a bad man, and it stands for I am mixed martial arts, and in memorial of Muhammad Ali, because I was a big Ali fan. And it went from I'm a bad man to his just like all the time. He's like bad man Jenkins. So it
Yeah.
came from highlight kid to I'm a bad man to now we stand on bad man time.
No, I like that. And then tell me a little bit. I know you're just launching your podcast, so Bad Man Podcast. So tell me a little bit how that came about.
Everybody in the world, keeps telling me about my personality and different things like that, and they always want me to, express that and try to, not only focus on the things inside the cage, but also be a well-rounded entertainer outside the cage. So, I would say my team, Batman team, and the people in my circle, they push me to like, hey, we should really get this done because you ain't no spring chicken. Everything else in life is popping right now. So you might as well, use your contacts and use your relationships, use the stories that you tell that crack everybody up around here to, facilitate some waves. So that's the plan.
Yeah, no, definitely. Is it going to be solely focused on like combat sports, or are you going to do? Are you going to talk about other stuff too?
I'm gonna talk about everything, all other sports as well. As I get better, right now I'm just gonna, keep it simple because I don't have a co-host or anything like that. So I'm rocking this show by myself, and I'm just gonna keep it simple for the beginning. And then as I get more comfortable, as I get better at, the podcasting in the world, I will do I'll do more. You know, I'll get more intricate.
Yeah, definitely. Did you have any dream interviews yet that you want to interview, like a person that you want to interview?
A dream interview would be Lil Wayne.
All right. That'd be
Um,
dope.
yeah, Lil Wayne. He's been through a lot, seen a lot. There's not a door that he can't walk behind.
Yeah.
Uh, and to have that interview and to know how easily he get annoyed, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's dope. And then going back to your college days, as you mentioned, you were All American. You won the championship as well at Arizona State, and I know you started at Penn State too. Just like, what was that experience like? And then how has like being a top wrestler All American like helped you in the MMA game?
I enjoyed the camaraderie that the wrestling brings, the hard work that it brings, and it just makes me a better fighter. It makes me prepared to fight. Um, it almost makes fighting easier because we used to prepare for really, really tough guys. I wrestled in the Big Ten, so really, really tough guys, back to back, and vast, quick turnarounds. And these guys had multiple different skills, very much like mixed martial arts. So in mixed martial arts, having that one person to prepare for a while, 8 to 10, 12 weeks or whatever, it's a little different. So it prepares you and it makes it easier.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then how was that transition like going to MMA and like learning like striking and jujitsu and all that stuff?
It's a difficult transition in the beginning because there are times where you have to really, really go against who you are as a wrestler to advance as a fighter. You have to try to strike. You have to try to do this. You have to, really face face that bull in certain situations.
Mm. And then did you like I guess like what was your plan like after all those accolades in college? Like did you have a plan to go into MMA or did it just happen or like
Absolutely. The whole transition of me going to Arizona State was part of the plan to me going to mixed martial arts.
okay, cool.
If you look at, my ability to go any school in the country when I first came out and I went to Penn State, and then when I transferred to go to any school in the country again, without Kale blocking my scholarship to Cornell, the plan was the first plan was to win nationals. The second plan was to step into mixed martial arts, and Arizona State is the hub and ground of most um, mixed martial artists.
Yeah, I gotcha. And then as far as you kind of mentioned it before, you are older in the sport of MMA, but young in life. So like, what are your other plans like for after MMA?
Be a Batman. Movies, movies, commercials, fashion, entertainment. Sky's the limit when I don't have to train all day. And of course, coaching. One of my best attributes is my ability to coach and give what I have to others. So that will be glorified in the next season.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I know you were doing some commentating um, at the Combat League. So what was that your first time commentating?
No, I've commentated before. I have another show August 26th that I'll be commentating for here in Vegas. I think it's called Clash of something, but I'll be commentating for that. And I do a lot of commentating. So that's of course, I there isn't a talent, my man. There isn't a talent that I don't have, and I say that with all humbleness and glory to the one who gifted me. But yeah, I'm going to be dabbling in all things. I might even buy a camera and start documenting stuff because I go everywhere with everyone, and I'm allowed in a lot of places that a lot of other people aren't. So if I can get behind the scenes documentation of a lot of this stuff and call it Bubba Vision or something like that, it'd be pretty cool.
So I got to ask you some questions about predictions. Who do you got in Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford?
Crawford.
Why?
I just believe he's a better fighter.
All right.
I just believe he's the tougher fighter. It's a 50-50. It's going to be a great fight, but I got Crawford.
Would you ever do one of these crossover boxing matches?
100%. Absolutely. No problem at all.
Who do you think is gonna win in the Tyson Fury Francis Ngannou fight?
Um, I I got Francis clipping him and Tyson going to sleep.
All right, that would be crazy. I mean, what do they say? One any puncher's chance. Um,
It's the I don't think people think they understand. I mean, people think they understand, but not many people are around Francis, right? Like I'm around Francis, or not many people see what I see
yeah,
with Dewey Cooper and all the people, right? Um, if that man hits you in any vulnerable spot, even incorrectly,
mhm.
bro, it's gonna do damage. It's gonna do damage to your brain. So if he hits you correctly at the right spot, he's liable to really hurt him. It's
Yeah,
scary. And to give him a hug or to dap him up and to feel him in relax, in calm, be as powerful as he is. It's scary to think about him zooted up.
yeah, yeah. No, definitely. No, I mean, I think it's gonna be dope. I mean, it's gonna be sick. Um, what do you like to do in your free time when you're not training?
I like to be with my babies. I don't know if you hear all the wild noise behind me, but I like to be with my athletes. My boys are, my boys and my baby girl are legit athletes. I got one son, he's the wild one. I got one daughter. I got two sons and one daughter. And my one son is the wild one. My one daughter says the wildest stuff. And my oldest son, he does the wildest athletics. Like he's wildly athletic.
What are they playing any sports yet? How old are they?
5, 7, 9. And they're in soccer, baseball, and gymnastics.
There you go. Oh, soccer's the wave right now with Messi coming here.
Well, my son he's the best player on his team, and all the other teams really.
Yeah.
He's the only kid running around just just going through everybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, they fight, but they don't fight obviously, and other than with me and training and things like that. So if it got ugly and if they got kicked on the field, we'd be all right.
I feel you. Last one. What's your favorite cheat meal?
Ah, let's go crab legs, man. I love me some crab legs and shrimp and butter and Old Bay. I wouldn't even say that's a cheat meal because it's relatively healthy
Yeah.
if you put it together correctly. I would say a smash burger, something like a nice one of those Trill smash burgers, nicely with all the onions and cheese and nice packed together burger that is got the works on it. Yeah, that's probably a good one. Or some fried chicken tenders. I'm on cut weight week, bro.
I
You can't
know,
ask me that
I
right
know,
now.
I know, I know, I know.
It's gonna be some cheat meal.
After the fight, after that win. But
Right.
Bubba, I appreciate you coming on, and could you let the followers, the listeners, know where to follow you at?
You can follow me on everything, Bubba Jenkins, man. I ain't hard to find. If you type in Bubba J, likely I'm gonna pop up.